You motherfuckers are quick to judge. It's all good though. You don't know shit about shit. If you only knew what I knew. If you only knew what I could do. If you could only see what I could see, you would probably stop bothering me.
Yeah, I independently started this shit. Marketing hits, starving for chips. No gasoline to start up the whip. Felt like the only nigga labels wasn't bargaining with. My heart has been ripped, I stuck with it as hard as it gets. These producers would always blow me off. Now that I'm blowing up, they don't recall. Talking about, yo, you my homie, dawg. Oh, now you wanna hop on a hot train. Knowing damn well since 04 I had hot flames. My real buddies was mainly the worst. Hating to shoot my videos without me paying them first. So I slotted my $100 and watch them bitch on how it ain't enough. That money got my cell, internet, and cable cut. A real homie would've gave a fuck and not expect to pay up front to get the money later when I'm making some. Nobody saw the bigger picture except me. They neglect me. Only thing that protects me is FB. Come on.
You don't always have to stick by my side. Just make sure you remember me when I die.
I am raw, just to let you niggas know, bitch, I am raw, don't forget me when I'm gone.
Yo, I was a high school grad preparing to go to college, an enthusiastic freshman majoring in economics. I didn't have a clue what to expect, to be honest. Banging beats in my dorm, streaming Pornhub constant. I figured I could make it out in 4 years' time, study religiously and graduate, apply for a job. The rap thing was secondary, I was putting it off, calling it quits, assuming I had better chances playing ball. My third year came and suddenly that changed. I couldn't bear watching my mom at home suffer in pain, trying to fight off the strain of only having half a stomach plus a handicapped back from a surgery that helped nothing. So I returned to the valley and called the homie. I was all ruthless, getting shelled like a trophy. I told him how I left my life in the OC, and we concluded we can both use FV.
You don't always have to stick by my side. Just make sure you remember me when I die.
I am raw, just to let you niggas know, bitch, I am raw, don't forget me when I'm gone, bitch, I am raw. This was written for niggas who wouldn't give me dap, niggas who told me that I had sissy rap. This was written for all the bitches I used to call who never hit me back until they heard the word I was buzzing. Come on, don't give me that shit. You backed out, now you tryna roll with my clip. What? Where the fuck were you when my signing bonus was spent? Where the fuck were you when I got the notice for rent saying I was getting evicted and I was hopeless as shit? See, I keep some names handy and you got thrown on the list. That's how you know that I'm pissed. I got you, don't even drip, cause I'm rude over the nicest beats. You had to go ignite the heat, you might agree to beat, but yo, I'm not the type you like to meet. Nope. Life's indeed a journey that I have yet to finish. Hopefully my career is something that'll be epidemic. You'll always know that it's hops in the way I wreck a sentence. Realness, I represent it raw, I'm the definition.
You don't always have to stick by my side. Just make sure you remember me when I die.
I am raw, just to let you niggas know, bitch, I am raw, don't forget me when I'm gone, bitch, I am raw. Work hard and barely get paid. How did I get stuck on this page? I've been starving for like 6 days. I should go and get a switchblade and try to find out where this bitch stays. I'm a lit flame. Once in future, I predict pain. Slit veins, squish brains, I'm just saying. Locked in the basement causes madness and errors. All I have to talk to is the fucking man in the mirror. But you never saw it from my perspective. The craft that I perfected got rejected and thrown out the window with no proper exit. I was humble, now I'm not as pleasant. I'm dropping records on your shady dynasty, but I'm not to mess with. You made me think it was impossible that I could blow and get a little money from selling records for copping clothes. Let's talk about the 42 records that Hops has sold. You sleeping on a fucking pot of gold, so listen close. Don't you ever call me again. I'm not your buddy.
Yo, hold on one second. I gotta see who's next on this list real quick. Oh, this stupid ass. Alright. Yo, since when the buddy's supposed to be so mean? There must be hate in the air that we both breathe. Shit, we used to be tighter than emo jeans. The day I ball, stand back and watch the C notes gleam. I know you see me blowing up, growing up it disturbs you. When my words move fanatics and in return you gotta post little blogs on the internet talking about I've been a wreck. My career's whack, I'll never benefit. I hope you die a bitter death and lie in the graveyard in regret where all of the foul niggas rest. You hating cause you witnessing the best, so just confess you shattered our friendship and you can't fix the mess. I'm not a bit impressed by nothing you've done. My name's stuck on your tongue, motherfucker, you sprung. Give it up, move on, you've taken this shit too far. You mad cause you unsatisfied with who you are, bitch.
Don't you ever call me again. I'm not your buddy, I'm not your pal. Right here is where it ends. Sorry for you. I'm not your buddy, I'm not your pal. You are my enemy.
Alright, let's see who else we got on this shit. Alright, yo. You were the love I used to see in my dreams. But when we met, how come shit could never be what it seemed? I was pleased with the things we did together. It's like we was a team. But you would change when I flee from the scene. Around me, you were pure-hearted, loving and caring. And when we hung out, you'd even brighten up your appearance. You fooled me like you was smart, cute, and something to stare at. But you was frontin', little bitch, now I'm struggling to bear it. Because you were the opposite of what you told me you don't do. Drugs, one night stands, and you know that it's so true. You saw my heart exposed, grabbed a hold of it, then broke through. Hoes are just so rude, fucking bogus and cold too. Oh, but there's no dude you were letting interfere with our love. That's the exact shit you said in my ear. When you arrived in my world, I thought heaven was near. But time made it very clear that the devil was here, so fuck you.
Don't you ever call me again. I'm not your buddy, I'm not your pal. Right here is where it ends. Sorry for you. I'm not your buddy, I'm not your pal. You are my enemy.
Hypnotic on your suede and you need another outfit. I got that Walmart brand, I stand so breathing, speak for the heathens. Mama said you dirty boys got the world grieving, but we ain't responsible for guns, we just bleeding. Every bullet passing me by, whether it be words, bats, or wives cheating. Standing in the storm and yawning because I got soul in the morning. When I wake up, I hit my knees and tell the Lord that I'm happy to be breathing. Cause I got lungs to still, like how you feel at midday. Soul in the evening, walking in the streets, I hit my knees and I tell the Lord I'm happy to be breathing. Buddy, I'm real, no matter how you feel, that's fine, I got soul Soul in the nighttime.
The right time, the right rhymes that I find embedded in my head again. I give back to the earth. And when I'm gone, each track and every verse will live on eternally. Been turning page after page, searching for words to convey the message and keep blessing it every day. Won't let it just slip away. I know the mind is a miracle and I feel I got plenty of shit to say, but I don't live up on no pedestal. My head is still down to earth. You ain't gotta believe anything I'm telling you. Let it be known. I'm prone to light up a song, write up a poem, right or wrong, provide you a tone to last your life long. At last the mic's on and a cool, calm presence surrounds my life form. And I've sworn in my life never to sacrifice what I believe in. I was taught to tackle life head first and network, collect my efforts, get ready to sweat, work harder than ever. See the art you envision, it starts with decisions and embark on a mission and never lose hope. And if you get hurt, just put your soul on your sweatshirt, put your best foot first. Remember that the worst is behind you. In time you find you a rhythm in life. When you hear it, you can tell it's true soul.
Soul in the morning. When I wake up, I hit my knees and tell the Lord that I'm happy to be breathing. Cause I got lungs to still. Like how you feel at midday. Soul in the evening. Walking in the streets, I hit my knees and I tell the Lord I'm happy to be breathing. Buddy, I'm real, no matter how you feel, that's fine. I got soul in the nighttime. This day, this time. I ain't fucking up, I ain't leaving my kid behind. I ain't tough enough for the devil without the shine from the sun of the one who provide, who died, who cried as a man on this land, just to stand in the eyes of the God who created my hand, so that he could understand how we feel when the seal of the truth got broke. All the hope was lost, but he tossed me a key, a Cherokee merrily doing my deeds. Every day like needles of an evergreen, I'm stationary. I'll be there when the drive and my body drops, but I will fly on through dirt and the pine cones, the seed in the mud, the history of my soul shown with the almighty redwood oak, giving air to my folks in the boat they can float in with soul in the morning. When I wake up, I hit my knees and tell the Lord that I'm happy to be breathing. Cause I got lungs to still. Like how you feel at midday. Soul in the evening. Walking in the streets, I hit my knees and I tell the Lord I'm happy to be breathing. Buddy, I'm real, no matter how you feel, that's fine. I got soul in the nighttime.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Peete. Happy Saturday, everybody. Thank you all for joining me on this fine Saturday evening, afternoon, night, whatever time it is. What time is it? 9:45. Impromptu stream here. No call-in tonight. As you can see, there's no call-in number on there. I figured I'd do a Q&A. I did one of these, like 6 months ago. So the theme of the night is type a question in the chat. You can ask me anything. I mean, if it's something I don't want to answer, I won't answer it. So, but anything you want to ask me about football, about pigskin, Pete, whatever it is you want to ask me, go ahead and shoot. And again, you all are amazing and fantastic for stopping in. This is not a beer stream. This is apparently a wine stream. As you can see from the title there. Hold on, what did I put in the title? Let me see what I put in the title real quick. Very, very loose stream tonight. Let's see. The title is Live Saturday Night Q&A, which is what I just told you. College football talk, which is what we always do here. Oh, elderly people. Let me tell you this story real quick. It might not be that great of a story. So Mrs. Peete and the kids are out. My wife and my kids are out tonight with a friend of the family. Yeah, one of my wife's friends and her kids. She's over at their house right now. That's why I'm able to do this without any distractions here. But basically, like most men, I didn't feel like cooking. So I went to the Mexican restaurant. Now, the Mexican restaurant's literally 300 feet from my house, so I could just walk there. I can walk there in 2 minutes, walk back in 2 minutes. So I go in there, I'm eating. I sit at the bar, drinking a beer, eating my my burrito or whatever. And this woman, or two women, I guess I should say, a woman, probably about 50 years old, I would say. I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know. And her elderly mother, who was, well, as I later learned, was about 80 years old, 79 years old or something like that, which is my mom's age. They come into the bar and they sit down. Now, we're sitting there having, like a, normal conversation like strangers would have, pleasantries and all that. How you doing? Blah, 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 whatever. So the daughter, who's the 50-year-old woman, says, "Oh, I got to go. I got an appointment." Now, mind you, here's one thing I forgot to tell you. So when they were coming in, the mother, she could barely walk, right? She needed assistance, like she was holding on to her daughter's arm, and she needed help to even get into the seat at the bar. So anyway, that's that part of that. So then the daughter's like, I got a nail appointment. Now there's like a nail shop like right next to the Mexican place that I was at. So she's like, I got to go get my nails done. I'll be back. Now, any man out there who has a wife or has ever had a girlfriend or whatever, these nail appointments take like 2 hours. All right. You don't just go over there and get your nails painted in 5 minutes. That's not the way this works. So anyway, the daughter just gets up and leaves. And leaves her elderly mother at the bar who can't even stand. Like if this woman had to go to go to the bathroom to pee, she couldn't do it on her own. And this woman just leaves her. She's like, "Oh, I got to go." Now you could tell that both of these women, the mother and the daughter, were wealthy, right? They were dressed wealthy. They had the diamonds and the gold, and you could just tell that they were wealthy people. So the daughter gets up, goes and just leaves her. So I strike up a conversation with this woman. Her name is Kathleen. This elderly woman. We sat there and talked for an hour. Okay. Such a sweet woman. Now she told me her whole life story, and she told me how much her kids were pieces of shit, including the woman that left her there to go get her nails done. And I felt so terrible for this woman. Anyway, to make a long story short, I was being nice to her, obviously. We had a great conversation. Her daughter comes back after the nail appointment. Now, I was ready to leave probably about 30 minutes before I left, but I didn't want to leave this woman at the bar. Like, I thought she might fall over and hit her head, or she might need someone to help take her to the bathroom or something. I don't know. I felt bad for this woman. So I'm sitting there talking to her. Finally, her daughter comes back. Her daughter walks in the bar, and she's like, "We got to go, Mom." And she's like, oh, hold on. I'm sitting here. I'm talking to this nice young man here. And she's like, "We got to go." And I'm like, "All right, I'm out. It was nice to meet you." And then I was out. But, man, walking out of there, I felt so bad for this woman. She told me that, I won't give you the whole story because, again, we talked for an hour. But she told me during the time that we were talking that her husband just died like 6 months ago, and they're from Boston. And that her kids, all grown kids obviously, shipped her down to South Carolina, to Charleston, where I live. There is a retirement community that in the neighborhood I live in, a Del Webb community. They shipped her down here to get to so that she would leave them alone or be out of their hair, I guess. And basically that's it, right? And she told me that. She's like, they just shipped me down here to get me away from them. I felt so bad for this woman. And she was so sweet too. So I guess the moral of the story is here, I don't know if there is a moral to the story. The moral of the story is, be nice to elderly people. My mom's elderly. She's the same age as this woman I was talking to. And I feel so bad for these elderly people. Their kids just ship them off to nursing homes or retirement communities out of the state. I felt so terrible for this woman. Terrible. She was so sweet. Anyway, all right. So now I don't mean to depress anybody, Let's get to the question and answers here. So you can ask me anything. If I don't want to answer it, I won't answer it. It can be football related. It can be not be football related. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm just gonna do it on my phone here. Let's do it. Looks like, hold on, let me give you some shout outs here real quick for all the people in chat. Looks like Ballard Sports Media is in here. Asher Moore. DeGoat Watson's in the house. How you doing, brother? Tiger Nation. What's up, my brother? John Waffle WV. I'm assuming that's West Virginia. RG's in the house. Brad gotta go. Well, if you gotta go, then why are you here? Don't tell me you gotta go. Just go. Brad gotta go's in the house. Coulter Gask. I even see Pigskin Pete in here. Billy Dawson, my man, is in the house. Sam Leaf, how you doing, sir? Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley's in the house. Everybody, Vic Beasley's in the house. Vic Beasley's in the house. Vic Beasley's in the house. Tiger Raven, how you doing, brother? Dennis Wilson, my favorite troll, if there is such a thing. Yeah, looks like that might be it. Aaron Short. I'm trying not to miss anybody. I'm trying not, because when I do these live shows, when I'm doing the call-in thing, I got my mind on 18 different things other than reading the chat. So I missed like everybody. Yeah, the only way I can see who's in there is to go back and watch it later. And I appreciate everybody that comes in my chat. Everybody. At all times. So if I don't acknowledge you, it's not on purpose. Unless you're a complete asshole. Then it is on purpose. But most of the time it's not on purpose. Comic Dude 45. Comic Dude 45. Thank you for stopping in, sir. You're amazing and fantastic. All right. So, Bryant Denny Stadium is in here. Denny D. Rock. How you doing, brother? Thank you for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. LSU Tiger Cat. LSU Tiger Cat. Haven't seen you here in a while, but you already know how I feel about you. You're amazing and fantastic. You already know that. Slim Shady Canes.
Hi, my name is. What? My name is. My name is. Slim Shady.
Slim Shady Canes in the house. A regular caller. Thank you, sir, for stopping in. You're amazing and fantastic. Sam Leaf. All right, so now we will get into the Q&A portion of the show. So, the rules are very simple here. Type a question in the chat. I mean, I don't really know what else to say other than type a question in the chat. I will sit back and wait on some questions. I'm bumping into shit over here. This is a good question. Coulter Gask asks, do I think that the March Madness bracket is subject to bias? I'm glad you asked me that. Because everybody talks about how biased, hell, I'm even one of them, how biased the college football playoff committee is towards picking the 4 top teams at the end of the year. Now, the basketball bracket is also picked by a committee. Now, the difference is there's 68 teams at this point? It used to be 64. I think it's 68 now. I think they're moving it up to like 70 or 72 in the next couple of years. Anyway, that's not the point. Yeah, of course it's biased. Anytime that you have people picking anything, it's going to be biased. No doubt about that. Now, look, here's the thing, though. I'm not as educated or like passionate about basketball as I am about football. So if I could tell you what, like, if you're one of these teams on the bubble that doesn't get picked, right? I'm sure you're gonna sit there and say they should have picked this, us over this team or whatever. But Clemson's never in that position. I'm listen. I love Clemson. I love them. I mean, that's obvious, right? But I don't think they deserve to be in there. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely bias involved, but I'm not educated enough in basketball. I'm not a big enough college basketball fan to where I'm like, where I know the difference between the 65th team and the 70th team or whatever. So, yeah, but yes. What's up, Mr. You Mad Bruh? How you doing? Thank you for stopping in. Aaron Short wants to know why everybody isn't an Alabama fan. I'm going to respectfully decline from answering that question. This is a family show, so I don't know. Maybe NASCAR might be more up your alley, though. So Sam Leaf asked a good question, or not a good question, but a question that's worth answering. He says, "How would good group of 5 teams do in the ACC?" They wouldn't do good. Look. I know everybody out there wants to hate on the ACC. It's fun to do that, and look, I get it. The ACC sucks right now. I think the Pac-12 is worse. There's a difference. A huge difference between group of 5 talent and Power 5 talent. That's all there is to it. Yes, can a group of 5 team that's really good, like Cincinnati or UCF from a couple of years ago, can they beat Power 5 teams that are not that great? Of course they can. They cannot play a Power 5 schedule, 9, 10 Power 5 games a year, and do the same thing they're doing in the Group of 5. There's a reason that they are Group of 5 teams. There's a reason that these players that play on the Group of 5 teams didn't get picked up or recruited by the Power 5 teams. This is the same bullshit that people say about, oh, do you think Alabama or Clemson could beat the Cleveland Browns or the Cincinnati Bengals? No! Stop! There's a difference in talent. A big difference. But I have a coronary over here. Good question, though. I didn't shut my own YouTube show off. Hold on. Let me pull my YouTube channel back up. Get me mad over here. I shouldn't do these Q&As. Should we do a travel softball team? Who asked that? RG? Are you talking to me? This is the first. This is something that most of you don't know, or maybe if you're a Clemson fan, you know this for sure. This is the first season in the history of softball, college softball, that Clemson's had a team. Do you know that? Now, look, they're really good too. They won like 11 games in a row. But yeah, I couldn't even believe that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about softball to make an educated answer on that. So I don't know if you're trolling me or what. But Ballard Sports Media says, let's be real, Pete. We can agree that Clemson and Alabama could at least beat the Dolphins in an embarrassing blowout. No, they can't. Stop it. The best college football team in history, whoever you think that is, right? There's a lot of different opinions on that, would get completely owned and slaughtered and stomped and embarrassed by the worst NFL team of all time. It wouldn't even be close. People that talk about the that any college team would beat an NFL team are they're total and tards. You're tards, all of you. Stop it. Go watch soccer, tennis, golf even, if you want to. Yeah. Coulter-Gask wants to know why is Clemson subject to so many trolls and haters? Because people talk about weak schedules. No, it has nothing to do with weak schedule. Clemson's schedule hasn't changed in the past 50 years, sir. As a matter of fact, I think it's gotten better because Clemson has gone out of their way in modern history to schedule, good teams out of conference, SEC teams most of the time. The reason there's so many haters is because they're so good. So when I was growing up, nobody cared that I was a Clemson fan. Nobody. People didn't care. I could go in-state, out-of-state. If I was wearing a Clemson shirt, nobody would say anything. Now I can't leave my house. I can't leave my house with a Clemson shirt on without somebody saying, when did you become a fan? Back in 2015? Oh, Clemson just got good. Clemson this, Clemson that. If people are talking about your team, it's only because they're good and they're jealous. So that's why. That's why. Because they're good. That's why there's so many haters. People hate greatness. Right? That's the way it is. Yeah. Sam Leaf says no one's hating Clemson. Sir, have you been living under a rock? Of course there's people hating Clemson. Unless you're a Clemson fan, but pretty much everybody else is hating Clemson. That's just the way it goes. But that's fine with me. Bryant Denny Stadium asks, Pete, when will Georgia stop getting toasted by Big Daddy Bama? Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I saw something on the news today. Not news, but on Twitter. I guess that's news nowadays. So Urban Meyer, I don't know if he said this in an interview or what, but Urban Meyer said that this is the year, according to Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer said this is the year that Florida is going to take over the East and make the college football playoff. Now, you got to take this with a grain of salt, right? Because Urban Meyer was a former Florida head coach. Now, we all know Urban Meyer doesn't really give a shit about Florida. He's an Ohio State Buckeye, born and raised, and that's just the way it goes. But he did win a couple of titles at Florida. But anyway, look. I don't know where he's getting. I don't know what's making him say that. Maybe he's got, maybe he knows more about football than me, which is probably true since he's a national title winning coach and I'm just some douchebag on YouTube. But I don't see it. I look at recruiting and I look at history. And the history and the recruiting both tell me that Georgia is still better than Florida until further notice. Now, we'll see if he's right or wrong. I don't know. Mr. Ubadbra says, Pete, where is Bobby Durkins? Bobby Durkins? I don't know where he is right now. He's probably at home. Bobby Durkins, as far as YouTube goes, is stepping his game up. So you haven't seen him on YouTube lately, but there's a reason for that. The reason is, well, I don't even know if I could. I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want to tell his business, right? It's not my place to do that. But good things are coming. I'll just say that. That's the way I'll put it. Good things are coming from Bobby Durkins very, very soon on YouTube. That's the way I'll leave it. I'll tell him you asked about him. Thank you. I just saw somebody said, I think Vic Beasley said something about North Carolina. North Carolina just stole a highly recruited player from Alabama. I'm a huge fan of Mac Brown. Forget North Carolina for a second, right? I don't care what team he coached. I'm a huge fan of Mac Brown. I think he's one of the good guys in football. I think him coming back to be a head coach at North Carolina was one of the best things that could happen to college football. He's definitely a great coach. I don't care what anybody says. and it just a great, football figurehead in general. So I'm super stoked that Mac Brown's at North Carolina. I hope he stays there for a while. I really do. But yeah, he's doing big things over there, man. Don't. Hey, all you Miami fans out there, don't be sleeping on North Carolina. Virginia fans, Virginia Tech fans, all the people in the Coastal Division, don't be sleeping on Mac Brown in North Carolina. He might take over that division. As a matter of fact, I probably think he will in the next couple of years. Asher Moore says, what games are you going to this year? Well, the only one I know that I'm going to for sure, or two actually, is the spring game that's coming up in a few weeks, 3 weeks from now. I'll be there. Any Clemson fan out there that's going to be at the spring game, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter or Facebook. No, I'm not on Facebook. Hit me up on Twitter or YouTube. I always say Twitter and Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. Fuck Facebook. Fucking hate Facebook. They kicked me off there because they said Pigskin Pete wasn't a real guy. Do you believe that? Pigskin Pete is not a real guy. Now, I didn't go to Harvard or even Notre Dame or Georgia Tech or Duke. I'm pretty sure I'm a real guy. Anyway, what was the question? Oh, yeah. I'm going to the spring game in a few weeks. So any Clemson fans out there want to come hang out, tailgate, whatever it is, just hit me up. And I'm going to the Notre Dame game in South Bend on November the 7th with Mrs. Peete. And I listen. Let me go ahead and say this. I haven't had a chance to say this yet, but there's been some Notre Dame fans, one guy on YouTube, and a bunch of other guys that have reached out to me that live in that area that are Notre Dame fans that have welcomed me with open arms to come hang out, tailgate, to show me around the campus, show me around the stadium, the whole 9 yards. I can't thank you guys enough. Always Irish in particular. John, his name's John Kennedy. As a matter of fact, imagine being named John Kennedy. Anyway, John, always Irish, is offered to show me around the campus, take me into the stadium and everything. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. So I'm looking forward to that, man. It's on my bucket list to go to South Bend and see a game. And so I'm doing that. Outside of that, I don't know yet. I'll probably go to another one. Maybe. I don't know which one yet. J Job says Facebook sucks. Yeah, it does suck. I hate Facebook. I hate it. I do hate it. Always have. Tiger Cat says she calls it the Book of Faces. Yeah, well, you won't see my face on there. So. Asher says he's trying to go to the military game and the South Carolina game this year. Yeah, that is something I've never been to the military day game, the orange, the purple jersey day. I've never been to one of those. Yeah, I've been to. I guess that's about it. I'm trying to think of the games I haven't been to. I've been to a bunch of them throughout my life. That's one I want to go to. I've never been to a purple jersey game. I've also never been to a game I've never been to a Clemson, South Carolina game in Carolina. That might be something I'd be willing. I've been to several South Carolina Gamecock games in my life, but never against Clemson. That might be something I'd be willing to entertain, but I don't really know if I really want to, honestly. It doesn't seem worth the it doesn't seem worth the headache, honestly. So we'll see. Maybe things will change. Maybe a South Carolina fan out there eventually will one day will invite me and I'll be his guest. But me going by myself, I'm not looking for no trouble. When I go to a football game, I'm looking to have a good time. I'm not looking to have confrontation and shit. Like if some little punk ass 22-year-old drunk frat kid steps up in my face and starts talking about Clemson, I'm just gonna knock him the fuck out. And I don't need that trouble. I'm too old for that. Way too old for that. Pigskin, which program is more overrated, Notre Dame or Michigan? Michigan. It's not even close. That's the answer to your question for that. Michigan might be the most overrated program in the history of football. Forget Notre Dame for a second. Yeah. Is Florida State untalented or unlucky? Neither. They're very talented, and luck has nothing to do with it. The coaching has been abysmal, and there seems to be a major problem there with the marriage between the athletic department and the football team. So neither. But Florida State's always been talented. And all they need is they need somebody that knows how to run that athletic program correctly, and they need an elite coaching staff, and they'll be fine. I don't think it'll be very long before Florida State's one of the top 10 programs in America again. I give them a couple of. Well, I don't know. We'll see how this new coach does, but I don't think it'll be long before they're good again. Pigskin, which team is a bigger talker, but ain't it a bigger? Hold on, I need Braille. I need some Braille to read this. Hold on, let me try it. Let me see here. Let me see if I can decipher this. Which team is a bigger talker, but unable to walk the walk? South Carolina or Oklahoma or Texas? Oklahoma State or Texas, not Oklahoma. Well, South Carolina wins that argument every time. They got the biggest mouths and the most empty trophy case in the history of football. You know, there was a thing on ESPN magazine I don't know, like 2 years ago. The most unsuccessful, underachieving football program, major football program in the history of football. South Carolina won it. Literally, yeah, everyone talks about how bad the ACC is, which it is. Literally, every single team in the ACC has more accomplishments throughout history than the Dirt Peckers do. Every one of them. What is your opinion on the Mac Jones versus Bryce Young quarterback situation? Hey, that's a good question. Who asked that? Bryant-Denny Stadium. Good question, sir. So my opinion on that is that this is a very similar situation that we saw a couple of years ago with Kelly Bryant and Trevor Lawrence coming in, right? So you had Kelly Bryant, who is a veteran, who had sat on the bench behind an elite quarterback. This is basically the same story, almost, is what's going on with Alabama and Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is a really good quarterback. I think Bryce Young's going to prove that he's better. And it'll take probably 3, 4, 5 games for him to prove that, or maybe him getting injured. But I think what you'll see, I don't know how this will play out, but I think what you'll definitely see Mac Jones start to see. Listen, there's not a lot of differences in coaching between Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney. These guys are very alike in a lot of ways. Now, they're not their personalities aren't alike, but the way that they coach football is very similar. So I think you'll see Mac Jones start the season, and at some point during the season, whether it's after 3 games, 4 games, or 8 games, I think you'll eventually see Bryce Young win the starting job. That's my prediction. So. Slim Shady Canes with a $2 super chat says, Florida State needs one thing to turn it around. Get real in June. Is that what it says? Get a reel in June. What does that mean? Get a real engine. Anybody need a drink? I don't know if you can say engine anymore. I'm not sure. Anybody need some wine? Thank you. Get a real engine. What are we doing here? What kind of YouTube channel am I running over here? This is a total clusterfuck. Oh. DeGoat Watson wants to know who will be the defensive coordinator when Brent Venables decides to become a head coach. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I do know that Dabo does like to promote from within. The only person, well, the only two, no, not the only one, the only two he's promoted at either offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator since he's been there that weren't already on the staff was Chad Morris when he went out and got him from a high school in Texas, and Brent Venables when he got him from Oklahoma. Everybody else he's promoted from within. So, that's a good question. I really don't know the answer to that question. Good question. What do you think? What let me see some opinions here in the chat. Speaking of quarterbacks, who will get the starting job at Oklahoma? Tanner or Spencer Rattler? I think Spencer Rattler's getting the starting job, dude. And I got to tell you, I think Spencer Rattler, and I'm going out on a limb here, all right? Just from what I know about him and some of the film that I've seen on him. And I don't claim to be some kind of X's and O's expert, right? I'm not, okay? I'm not claiming to be. But I know talent when I see it. And this Spencer Rattler kid is something special, man. He reminds me a lot of Patrick Mahomes. He can throw with his right arm or his left arm. He can throw sidearm. Look, he's got an arm talent like nobody. Now I don't know. I think Spencer Rattler, he's got all the measurables. I think he's a big kid, big arm. He can throw it. He's got the arm talent. I don't know. Up here. Like mentally how he is, but I'm assuming he's pretty good. I think Spencer Rattler is going to be a Heisman contender here in the next couple of years. So I would say Spencer Rattler. He's that good. This he's really good. Tiger Raven with a $2 super chat says, go Clemson Tigers. Go Tigers. Clemson. There you go, brother. Yeah, so Monday I'll be doing my I hope you guys have been enjoying these top 5 lists that I've been doing for all you Clemson fans out there. I did the top 5 quarterbacks last week. I did the top 5 running backs at Clemson of all time. On Monday, I'm planning on doing the top 5 wide receivers. And that's been kind of rough, honestly. Most of the wide receivers are going to be modern ones because wide receivers weren't a big part of anybody's, scheme in the 70s and 60s and 50s. There was more of a running game. So, and plus, on top of that, Clemson's had some amazing wide receivers just in the past 20 years. So they'll mostly probably be within the past 20 years on that list. But I can't wait to see the feedback. I got a lot of great feedback from those videos. So I enjoy doing them too. Jay Jobs wants to know, Pigskin, what is your early list for the 2020 playoff teams? Oh, man. I think I already do a video on this? I've done so many I can't remember. All right, so of course, listen, call me a homer, whatever you want to call me. I'm putting Clemson in there, so that's one. I'm still putting Alabama in there until further notice. I know LSU's won a natty last year. I know that Georgia's recruiting out of their mind. I know that Urban Meyer says that Florida's got, they're going to do something great, whatever it is. I still think that Alabama is clearly the class of the SEC until further notice, right? So, listen, I think Clemson and Alabama are two best programs in football right now. Have been for a while, at least for the past 5 years. So, Clemson, Alabama. Ohio State, I would say, and Oregon. So that's my 4. Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and Oregon. There you go. Don't quote me on that. But if you do quote me on that, don't quote me on it until I'm actually ready to be quoted on it. I might retract one of those. We'll see what happens. Way too early. Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, Utah. Stop it. Listen. Hold on. Nope. No, not Utah. Yeah, Billy Dawson says that Mario Cristobal is making a monster at Oregon. I completely agree. Oregon has the chance, if they don't screw it up, they are on the path of becoming the Clemson of the Pac-12. Just dominating their conference, which is what Clemson's been doing for the past few years. Oregon, if they don't screw it up, they'll be that team in the Pac-12. We'll see what happens. Will T. Higgins come back? No. Who said that? Sam Leaf? No, he's already declared for the draft. He's not coming back. Yeah, I know Oregon has to replace Justin Herbert, but I don't know if I want to get. I'm going to be doing some draft coverage. Everybody's really high on Justin Herbert, as they should be. He's big. He's got a big arm. He's smart. And he's a great kid. Listen, out of all these quarterbacks in the draft, whether it's Tua, Burrow, Eason, I don't know, man. I'm not as high on Herbert as everybody else is. I'm just not. And again, as far as Oregon goes, I'm not so sure that any quarterback that's above average couldn't flourish in that type of system. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that impressed with Herbert. I'm just not. I realize he's big and he's got a big arm and all that, but he's got a lot of flaws too. We'll see. I don't dislike the kid or anything. I'm not hating on him. But I think a lot of quarterbacks with talent could have done what he did there. Will the coronavirus affect the 2020 college football season? No. By the time the 2020 college football season rolls, there won't be a coronavirus anymore. So the answer is no to that. Will Lincoln Riley pass Bob Stoops for most wins in program history if he stays for at least 17 years? Yes. Yes, he will. If he stays for 17 years, he will. Absolutely. Yeah. DeGoat Watson says, is Mahomes the most talented quarterback you've ever seen? Max from First Take says Mahomes is already the best ever. Oh. Well, talent and accomplishments are two different things. He is definitely one of the most talented. Like, just, God-given talent. Yeah, he's definitely up there. I'm trying to think of one that I could think of as more talented. I would say Aaron Rodgers is right up there with him as far as arm talent. I think Deshaun Watson's talented in different ways, but just as talented. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's too early to call him the greatest ever. Way too early. But as far as just physical talent, he's in the pantheon. He's definitely in the top 3. He may end up at the end when it's all said and done, he may end up being the most talented guy ever. But it's too early to say that yet. Jordan Bowman says, I'm glad that I'm in the middle of nowhere in Clemson. I'll probably be a while before the virus gets here. No, I wouldn't say that. So there's been 2 I tweeted this out earlier. There's been 2 cases of coronavirus in Charleston, South Carolina, where I live. And of course, of all the cities in the country, tens of thousands of cities, the city I live in has got to be one of them. No big shocker there. Listen, I'm more worried about getting run over by a UPS truck than I am about getting the coronavirus. I'm not scared of this coronavirus thing like everybody else is. Just not. This thing is being way, way overblown by people. Or by the media, I guess I should say. 50,000 people every single year die from the flu? The flu! I haven't had the flu since I was like 8. 50,000 people. Meanwhile, there's been like 2,000 people in the whole world have died from this stupid-ass coronavirus, and everyone's acting like the world's going to come to an end. Look, stop. Turn off the news. Turn off CNN and Fox News and MSNBC, and turn on Pigskin and Peete, and you won't get the coronavirus, if you're lucky. Plus, I drink too much to get the coronavirus. I'm pretty sure alcohol kills that shit. Cheers. Cheers to that. That's what the doctors won't tell you. They won't tell you that if you're an alcoholic, you can't get the coronavirus. I'm telling you, though. Listen to Dr. Peete. He knows what he's talking about. Dr. Peete here. I'll save your life. Oh. I heard somebody, who is it? Clemson Carson said, unless you're drinking Corona. This, you know what? There was a poll that was done by somebody. And they said that 38% of the people that were polled, or like 38 or 39 or 40, somewhere around there. Over a third. That's all that you need to know. Over 1/3 of people who were polled in this stupid-ass question. Would you still drink Corona based on the fact that there's the coronavirus out there? More than 1/3 of the people said they wouldn't even drink Corona because of the coronavirus. Now, this is scary for a lot of reasons. The main reason is, if you are that stupid to think that the beer has anything to do with the virus, that's a problem. That's a problem. It's a problem in America. Our education system has failed us if you think that the Corona beer has anything to do with the virus. And look, there's a lot of people that won't drink Corona for that reason. You know what I'm doing? I'm waiting. I'm not a big. Listen, I don't really like Corona beer that much. I mean, it's okay. It's not it's not something I buy all the time. I'm waiting for the 12 packs and the 18 packs of that shit to go on sale for half price, and I'll go buy every single one of them because of idiots out there. Yes, I'm insulting the intelligence of 100 million Americans. Yes, I am. Yes. A sad Falcons fan, which says it all. You are sad, sir. Says Georgia's going 15-0. Yeah, right. We'll see about that. The fact that you named yourself a sad Falcons fan tells me all I need to know. No such thing as a happy Falcons fan, is there? A sad Falcons fan is an oxymoron. Why does Oklahoma get trolled by everyone? Well, because they're... Look, I'm not going to even read the rest of this until I answer the first part of this. Coultergas wants to know, why does everybody troll Oklahoma? Because Oklahoma has one of the most talented offenses in the history of football in the past 3 or 4 years. They got one of the best coaching staffs. They got the most talent on the team. And their defense is... I can play better defense. That's why. I mean, I don't know why it's so hard to figure out. And every time they make the playoffs, they get blown out. Yeah. It looks like people are basically agreeing with me. All right. Listen, thanks to everybody who joined me tonight on this Q&A session. I had a lot of fun, and this wasn't planned, so yeah, this wasn't planned. So I appreciate all of you for stopping in. I really do. Great questions. Had a lot of fun. You're all amazing and fantastic. Thank you all for all the commenters, all the viewers. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all that good shit that you do and everyone asks for. And I'll see you all very soon. You're all amazing and fantastic. Thank you. Pigskin Pete's checking out, though.